Former Tucson Police Chief Chris Magnus, who now heads up U.S. Customs and Border Protection, is being forced out of his job after being sworn in less than a year ago. One man and an infant are dead after a devastating crash near Gilbert. And this morning we're learning the victims are the son and granddaughter of Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb. You're seeing helicopter footage of the accident. We're told the accident happened around 4 p.m. on Friday. Officials say the silver truck you can see there T-boned the red sedan. Sheriff Lamb's son Cooper and his infant granddaughter were passengers in that red car. And we begin tonight with breaking news. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Eric Fink. Fire crews are working a potential hazmat situation right now at Northwest Hospital. This is a live look of the scene. According to an assistant fire chief with Northwest Fire, the call coming in shortly before 8:30 tonight. The call, we've learned, first came in as a building fire, but crews quickly determined it was a possible hazmat situation. It's 12 hours away from Arizona's first scheduled execution in 8 years. The three-judge panel up in San Francisco this afternoon denied Clarence Dixon's request for a stay of execution. This despite Dixon's lawyers arguing he is mentally incompetent. We begin with breaking news. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Eric Fink. Just into our newsroom, we're learning about a brush fire burning near Sonoyta tonight. Santa Cruz County officials ordering residents living on Longview Loop to evacuate. And moments ago, nearby residents of Elgin Canelo were also told to evacuate. If anyone you know has been evacuated, there are shelters set up. One of them is in Patagonia at the Patagonia Community United Methodist Church. The 2024 presidential race is starting to take shape. President Biden could soon be nearing a decision as to whether to run for re-election. The president was in Alabama today. Former President Trump was at CPAC this weekend, and one GOP governor opts out of a run. Bringing in News 4 Tucson's Sally Shamrell. It was a gorgeous day today, topping over 75, but you know, you're here to tell us it's not going to stick around.
I'm the bearer of that news.
Thank you, Sally.
I'm not going to call it bad news. We'll just say that news.
La Fiesta de los Vaqueros kicks off today. The Tucson Rodeo was founded in 1925, and the winter tradition brings thousands to the rodeo grounds in South Tucson. But not everyone is okay with this Tucson tradition. Animal activists say it equates to animal abuse. News 4 Tucson's Shelley Jackson joins us live right now from the rodeo grounds with more details. Shelley, good evening. Former President Jimmy Carter is entering hospice care at home. A statement from the Carter Center says the 98-year-old has decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family and receive hospice care instead of more medical treatment.
Inbounds, Desmond Cambridge. Oh! He got it! He won it! Arizona State has done it!
Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Eric Fink. You just saw that big buzzer beater down at McHale Center this afternoon. Now let's head straight to News 4 Tucson's David Kelly. David, you were at the game, and what a finish. A tough day on the court, but a big win on the debate stage for the U of A. The university taking first place in the 2023 Regents Cup. This year's speech and debate competition centered around liberty, prosperity, and the Constitution. And welcome back. President Biden at the center of a high-stakes investigation and a political problem. The White House announced today that 5 more pages of classified material were found at the president's Delaware home this week. Mourners packed a Michigan church today to say their farewells to one of the victims of the mass shooting at Michigan State University. Brian Frazier was laid to rest today. Frazier was one of 3 students killed in the mass shooting on Monday night. We start tonight with state politics. Several bills have been introduced in the Arizona legislature this session that could add pressure to the homeless population. The recent hazmat crash on the southeast side this week was a clear sign of the risks of hauling hazardous materials on our freeways. Local first responders tell us it's something they prepare for year-round. The crash shows how impactful a chemical leak can be, and it comes as we are also seeing train derailments in other parts of the country, like the one earlier this month in East Palestine, Ohio. And Tucson has a major Union Pacific line running straight through town. Well, 2 hikers and their dog are safe now, thanks to helicopter pilots with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Take a look at this amazing video from the rescue. Deputies responded to a call about some hikers who were suffering from heat stroke and needed help off a trail at Catalina State Park. Now watch as their dog named Whiskey is airlifted up. The Cologuard Classic, bringing some of the PGA legends to Tucson, crowns this year's winner. The man on top this week at Omni Tucson National was David Toms. The 2001 PGA champion finished at 15 under par to win by a shot here in the desert. But this tournament goes far beyond the game. And News 4 Tucson's Paul Sakala pays tribute to some golf fans who are also proud veterans. And once again this year, Paul emceed the trophy presentation of the Golden Conquistadors helmet. There's our guy right in the middle. Turning to weather now, bringing in News 4 Tucson's Sally Shamrell. A beautiful weekend with plenty of sunshine. Yeah. And that wind really driving the fire near Sonoyta and Elgin. But luckily tonight, Sally, the weather turning favorable for firefighters. They're able to get the upper hand. For the first time since the remains of 6-year-old Isabel Celis were found nearly 6 years ago, we are learning more on what may have caused her death. Christopher Clement's murder trial will head into its second week beginning Tuesday. In the first week, testimony revealed what the medical examiner found when examining Isabel's remains. The war in Ukraine entering its second year now with no end in sight. And around the world today, signs of solidarity in support of the Ukrainian people and calls for peace. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin reports from Kyiv. And welcome back. A new treatment for ALS is now approved by the FDA. While some are calling this decision a huge victory, others question the drug's effectiveness. Nearly 30 years after he retired from tennis, his name is still synonymous with both greatness and attitude. And John McEnroe's second act as a broadcaster has also been phenomenal. Now a new documentary goes deeper than ever before into his life and career. The James Webb Space Telescope revealed 6 massive galaxies that existed between 500 and 700 million years after the Big Bang, and the discovery is completely upending existing theories about the origins of galaxies. Wow. On that note, that wraps it up for us tonight. Woody Harrelson hosts an all-new SNL coming up next. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night at 5:30. Have a great night.